What we're talking about today is the power of decision making. What I mean by that is we're going to explore two key drivers that can really radically transform your life. And what I mean is it literally has mine. It's the power of making a decision and the power of certainty. So making a decision is the foundation of every action you take. It's that moment that you can get stuck in the what ifs and move to I will. Once you make that decision, certainty is that thing that takes your commitment and turns it into action. So here's the thing. Making a decision is when you cut off all other possibilities and commit to a source of action. A lot of times we have an escape plan, a safety net, then we still have a bit of doubt. And so I want you to exercise with me, just this little exercise. It's this notion of I hope. I want you to think about what it feels like when you're saying, I'm going to use some of you in this book or in this teaching, I think. I hope I can finish that book, writing that book. I hope that I'll be able to launch this business and make it successful. Or I hope I'll lose 20 pounds. What do you look like when you're hoping? How do you stand when you're hoping? How do you act when you're hoping? I hope I can get all the things done today that I need to get done. I hope I can have a breakthrough. What are you saying to yourself when you're hoping that it will work out? Now let's notice the difference here when we say, I will. Now take a minute right now and change the trajectory. You're in that place of I hope, and I want you to go put a sense of certainty that it will work out. Act the way you would be acting if you were certain, if you knew it would work out, that you knew you were going to finish your book by the end of the month, that you knew that you were going to be able to open that business and make it thrive, that you absolutely knew that you had everything you had to take you through, that you knew that you'd lose those 20 pounds and have the health you deserve. How do you feel?
Amazing.
When you're certain. How do you stand when you're certain? How do you behave when you're certain? We're not in a place of certainty on it. But what would it look like? I've been noticing this. The Lord's been talking to me a lot about this is when I make a decision and I get into certainty and I throw away all the safety nets, then my brain becomes resourceful to actually see that thing come to pass. And now think about this. That's spiritual authority. That's stepping into authority. I know that I will, and I am committed. I hope I'll get it done. All right. So here's the thing. Without a decision, you're just hoping or you're wishing. When you make a decision, you create momentum. If you make a decision, I will, your brain, your reticular activating system will begin to walk towards that. Where you look, you will go. A lot of us, we declare and we really don't get anywhere. And then a lot of us are mad at God because he didn't do it for us. But decision is authority. And guess what? When you take action, it creates clarity. A lot of times we're sitting there, and I had a conversation with my husband the one day where he immediately went in why we might not be able to do that zone. And there wasn't clarity and there wasn't a decision, a choice. It was I hope. And imagine that. It makes it really hard to actually obtain it if you're in I hope. Listen, you don't need to have the whole plan figured out. Often we may wait to make decisions till we absolutely know everything. But that is so the fastest way to kill your dreams. Making decisions sparks action. Action leads to clarity, and clarity fuels progress. Once you actually move, the path becomes clearer. Have you ever just said, you know what, I'm going to take a step right now and I'm going to give it a try? And then you actually, once you take that step, you go, oops, that wasn't the Lord. I'm going to go this way. And you take another step, and you take another try, and you're like, whoop, the door opened. I'm going to continue to go this way. But when we stand in indecision, we stand at this fork in the road going, I don't know which way to go. There's no clarity. There's no certainty. Commitment over perfection. Don't fall on the trap of I'll decide when all the conditions are perfect. Perfection is just a myth. It's not going to happen. In fact, you can be certain that there won't be perfection. So if you need certainty in your life, listen, decisions create opportunities for growth and learning. Every decision, even a small one, will put you in the driver's seat of your life. There is so much power in certainty. Certainty is the belief that you can and you will achieve what you set out to do. When you're certain, you move with confidence. When you're certain, you create energy. You become magnetic to opportunities because you're moving with intention. Certainty even creates influence. See, when you're certain in your mind and you know what you believe and you're walking in confidence, you're going to have the energy to draw to yourself all those things, all that provision of heaven. Just like he says, if somebody who is certain and does not doubt, they can literally move mountains. When you have certainty, you have authority. Think of any great leader. What sets them apart is not just their skills. It's literally their certainty. When they speak, people believe them because they believe in what they're saying. Like me right now. I believe what I'm saying because I'm walking it out in my life. When you are certain, people can trust you. And more importantly, you can trust you. And that you trusting you, that makes you unstoppable. Certainty is a muscle. It doesn't mean you always have all the answers. Praise Jesus. I do not have all the answers. That's why I need a community like this around me. But it means you're committed to finding them no matter what. When you practice certainty, it's the stronger you will get in that. So here's an exercise for you. Let's start by making a firm decision. No wavering, no second guessing. Once you decide, back it up with certainty. I see Lydia doing it. Man, this is scary, but by golly, I'm going to do it. It's not, I hope I'm going to open the business. I hope that I can get these things done. I hope that there's going to be finances no, she's like, I'm doing it. I'm putting my hands to work and I am going to do it. I'm going to follow it through. She's got certainty. So start by making a firm decision. You don't have to know every step, guys. And then I love this one that I learned is use the 5-second rule. The longer you wait till after making a decision, the more likely doubt will creep in. Like Amber was saying this morning is she made a decision. She walked through maybe a confrontation, but then she's like, did I do the right thing? That was me this morning too. Am I in alignment with God? And he's like, the Lord sometimes he's like, Rebecca, when you decide on something, act within 5 seconds, call someone, send an email, take a physical step towards your goal. This will build momentum and it'll reinforce your decision with action, which grows into certainty. And then, hey, put a habit in there. Surround yourself with certainty building routines like those declarations we talk about, those I will statements. Visualize your success. We talk about visualize it's already happened. Settings, just even creating a culture of celebration in your life to boost your confidence. I do this right now. I'm using a new software. It's called RPM software, and it's helping me to live my life with purpose and intentionality. And what it has on there is every day, it's a daily reflection where I am creating a culture of celebration with myself. It's me, myself, and Jesus that see that. But I'll go, I am proud of myself because I did this today. And then at the end of the week, I wrap that all up. I am proud that this happened this week. I'm excited. I'm celebrating. I'm telling you, culture of celebration will rock your world. Just that right there. Next, you got to sometimes let go of the how. I talk about even not being so attached to the outcome, not being so like, it's got to happen in this way. So many people get really upset with the father not because there's something really wrong, but because they're wanting A, B, C, and D. And the father's saying, no, A, C, F, B, D. And then it all comes out to the same conclusion. He just is doing it in a different way. Why? To shape you, to mold you, to strengthen you. So I want to encourage you. Decisions shape your destiny. And then it's certainty behind them that makes you unstoppable. You have the power to make a decision today that will change your life. We got to step into the decision-making process and take bold action. I cannot underemphasize this enough or overemphasize this. Making a decision is stepping into spiritual authority. It truly is. And that's because you've got certainty behind you. That's what Jesus had when he looked at that fig tree, told it to die, and it just did what he said. It's the same thing in that scripture about right here. If anyone says to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. God loves a single-minded person. He loves all of us, but he loves that when you're single-minded, not double-minded. And so I want to encourage you. Here's a couple of things we can go through in breakout rooms real quick. I want you to think of a decision that you've been putting off. You talk about procrastination in here. A lot of times procrastination is fear. What's one thing you could decide today that would move you forward in the direction you're trying to go? You don't have to have the full answer. Just make the decision. And then number 2, take a decision you're facing right now. What would you feel like if you literally knew it was going to work out? Visualize that certainty and carry it with you the rest of the day. So I want you to go to breakout rooms right now, and I want you to just take a moment and really discuss what is one decision that would impact all the other areas in your life. And with that decision, what are you going to do to remove the safety nets and the backup plans and all that so that you'll actually take that certain action to see it come to pass? What step can you do scared? How can you stand up brave today to actually follow through, to actually do the thing? And I'll tell you what, I really want to encourage you. I had a lot of this in the last 2 weeks where it's like, oh God, here we go. I'm not ready for this. And I said, nope. Got to do it. Didn't want to do it. Got to do it. And it carries some heavy emotions. And sometimes you have to process those emotions. I remember a meeting I had last week that was just really hard for me. It was scary. And so I got off of that meeting and I had to go do some self-care. I had to then get my state, like care of my emotional state, because all my energy was drained because I was putting forward all my energy to stand up and make that powerful decision. And so I want to encourage you also be kind to yourself and develop trust with yourself.